Hi everyone.
Hi everybody. Gonna do that.
Get our notes up. So
Yeah,
we're in and we
perfect.
are now starting the Report Riot Q&A.
Right, buckle up, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the Report Engine Q&A.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our first Q&A session together.
Yes, we've done webinars together, but
Lots
we've
of
not done
webinars together,
we've
yeah.
not done Q&As.
And I think we may be in a giddy mood today, so you might get some silliness along the way. It's fairly sunny in Lancaster for once, so and we can see people joining now, so welcome along.
Okay, welcome to today's session. It's all about the report engine. Today, Sarah and I are going to be going through a few pre-prepared questions that we hear often about the report engine, and we'll have plenty of time to answer any questions that you guys might have.
Okay, so this is a short session, so we've got lots to cover, so we're going to jump right in.
Right in. Yeah. So let's start off with the basics. What is Report Engine used for in Access Planet? So the report engine allows you to build and customize your own reports using your platform's data. Now, it's ideal for one, getting insights on generally what's going on, two, tracking performance across your courses, and lastly, for converting your data into a shareable format. Now, it looks very similar to dashboards, and that's because it is. If you're familiar with adding gadgets to your dashboards, you'll find building reports very easy in Report Engine.
So how do we access the report engine? So we will go to our main menu, and then under reports, you will find report engine next to report writer. In there. So this opens your report engine data grid, which will show you any of your active reports. And then from there, you can right click and edit or right click and view. So when we right click and view, this will show you a read-only version of your report, like you can see here. And then if we were to right click and edit, you're able to add gadgets, edit the existing gadgets, and other options we can get into in more detail, things like your exports and filters. Okay.
Wonderful, thank you, Sarah. So here's the next question. Can I create my own reports from scratch? So yes, from the Reports Engine data grid, if you click Add Report, give your report a name.
Oh, sorry, I was trying to help.
Oh.
And I went, there we go.
There we go. So we've given it a name there, Monthly Finance Report. And then we're going to choose the module where your report will get data from. In this case, we've selected the invoice module. And then the next task is to provide a description. Now, this is basically an overview of the report. So you know what it is for next time that you're going into your report engine list and you're like, well, what's this? What could this one be? So you open up that description, you can see what it is.
Perfect. So when you've saved your basic info, then you can go in and add filters. So obviously we've got data grids in there. We want to filter down that information. So this is, without filters, you'd be looking at all of your data from all time, which, especially if you've been with us for a few years, could be quite difficult to navigate. So when we are building your report, you want to add gadgets like statistics, like data grids and summaries. So we've got some examples of that here. So we've got statistics across the top, data grids on the bottom right, and then a summary on the bottom left there.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Next question, can I apply global filters to all of my gadgets? The answer to this, of course, is yes. So filters help you to narrow down your report to just the information that you need, such as viewing courses from the previous month or delegates that have a status like cancelled. So you want to see all your cancellations there. so this month and cancelled, they will make your reports quicker to read and easier to act on if you've got to make any quick decisions when you see your data. So when building and editing your report, you can define filters. In this example, we've applied 2 filters. So exclude invoices that are cancelled. We don't want to report on these. And we only include invoices that were generated this month. There we go. Over to you, Sarah.
So the next question is, can I add a gadget specific filter? And the answer to this one is yes. So Sean's just talked us through global filters for the full report, and you can also define filters per gadget. So you can decide if you want an invoice report, that specific gadget to have maybe a more in-depth filter on there. So this option is called Use Report and Module Filters. And then you can uncheck that, which will allow you to build your own filters on that gadget there and allow for a little bit more flexibility within your reporting. Okay, so now we've entered the section where you can ask your report writer questions. We've got some more coming along of our predefined ones, but we're going to leave a few seconds here for you guys to enter your questions, if you have any.
The floor is open to you. If you have any questions, feel free to jump in there. In the Q&A bit, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. In there. What? Oh.
There it is.
I don't think we've had it. We need the countdown music here, don't we? Do 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 do. All right, so we will go on to our other predefined questions now. Oh, actually, I may have been ahead of myself. There was a little one that I saw there. So,
oh, was there?
Yeah,
we have a question.
We have a question.
So Lol is going to know the question. Are you able to export reports as PDFs so that they can be included in presentations, for example?
Excellent question, Lol. And you've actually taken the words right out of our mouths, because that is the next section. But short answer is yes, you can export these reports as PDFs and include them in your presentations. So great question. Yeah. Excellent. And we'll go into it in a bit more detail shortly.
You're going to love the next section, honestly. Let me just bring up the... Oops. There we go. Okay. The next question, before we get on to exporting, is how do summary gadgets work? Essentially, these are like pivot tables in Excel. They're used to summarize data, for instance, the number of courses per month, the sum of any invoices that are outstanding per customer, number of delegates on waiting lists per course template, or even something like the number of courses each trainer is assigned to in a given year. So here are a couple of examples that we can look at. On the left, we've got what we are grouping on, and on the right, we have our calculated number. So the amount due in this instance, which is the sum of the outstanding amount on invoices per customer, which is grouped nicely on the left. So on the right-hand side, we've got similar gadgets. We've got the start date. We've also got the number of courses per start date. And it's also grouped by month. So it's going to be the number of courses per month. So yeah, this is quite a good example of a summary gadget. Now let's have a look a little bit in depth how this is actually put together. We've labeled our gadget courses run per month. We've left auto refresh and auto height off. So what this is going to do is basically, whenever you refresh the page, the report will update, but you can set refresh intervals. So if you're leaving it on the dashboard page, it will occasionally regenerate and update those results. and auto height will expand the gadget to the size of the results set that is displaying. So you can either have it disabled, like we have it here, or not enabled, as I say, which will basically allow you to scroll through the list. Whereas auto height, if you tick that box, it will expand the gadget. So everything's going to be displayed on the same page. Are you able to click for me, please?
I certainly can.
Thank you very much. So we're not using the report's global filters or module in this instance, so we're going to define our own inside this gadget. Firstly, the module that we're reporting on is course date, so individual instances of courses taking place on a given date. Here we have the important stuff. We've got, basically we're reporting on courses per month. So we're going to get our month from the start date of the course. We're going to group by month, and we're going to have it sorted ascending so that our data is listed in date order. And then we want to count the number of courses per month. So we've chose the field course ID and set this to count. And this is going to give us a number of all those unique IDs and give us a figure for that. Now, we've also renamed this to courses so that it displays as we want it to on the report. Thank you. And we've also filtered this to include courses only from the current year. And we could add filters like course status, for example. We might want to hide cancelled courses or completed courses. If you only want to show completed courses, you could have a filter for that. And we could also filter out the individual sessions if we wanted. So this is currently counting everything, but if you only wanted it to show head sessions, parent sessions, and hide those child sessions, you can do that easily. There we go. So once we click save, our gadget will update, and we will have our gadgets basically.
Finished gadget.
So there we go. It all fits together neatly. We've got group by month, as it's shown on the right here. And we've also got the number of courses, which is that ID, count, and that's giving us that nice, easy to read figure of the number of courses grouped by month.
It looks like February to March was a fair jump, wasn't it? Nice quiet February, and then March we were running around like headless chickens.
That's all right. So yeah, there you go. There is summary gadgets.
Here we go.
There are summary gadgets.
There are loads of summary
gadgets there. Yeah.
There's lots of summary gadgets. I did one earlier in the week for a sales gadget, so grouped by the sales representative and how many opportunities they'd created that month, which was quite fun.
Very jazzy.
Very jazzy, exactly. So here we are, the all-important question: can reports be exported? And the answer to this one is yes, you can export to PDF. So to do this, you click edit the report and then the export option at the top, and then you can choose your export options. So you've got the option to export it in PDF format. So when you choose that, you can force auto height as well, and that will make sure that all of the gadgets are correctly sized in that export. It then generates that as a PDF, and then you can share that as required. Okay, so there you go. You can see that output in a PDF there. So when we've shared it, you can email on. So next question.
Following on very nicely from that, can report engine reports be emailed? So they don't email automatically like Report Writer, but as Sarah pointed out, you can export these to PDF and then you can email those out.
Okay, next question is who can access the reports that I create? So by default, this is just you. So as you can see here, we have a permissions grid. So you can share them with groups of admins, specific admins. You can share them with account groups. So basically like everyone. in here. So when you edit your view and edit permissions, you can add in specific roles in here. So quite a common one, as you can see, is the super admin role. So we've added that into the roles that can edit, and I imagine we can also add them into view as well. Oh, I'm just jumping ahead now. But add in your super admin role, and then they will be able to edit. And you can also put in specific users if they want to just view.
Thank you, Sarah. Next question. Can I clone Report Engine reports? The answer to this is yes, you can. If you've made a good report and you want a copy and you want to make just a few changes to it while keeping that sort of basic structure of the report the same, you can simply right-click and clone the report on the Report Engine data grid. So say if you made a...
My bad.
Oh, that's all right. Say if you made a 2025 report, then you'd like a 2026 version, clone. If you've made a report for one training provider and you'd like a version for a different training provider, clone. The clone option is in the context menu. So if you right-click, select clone, and then once you've created it, you need to rename it so it doesn't just say clone. So yes, begun the clone war has.
The word clone has lost all meaning to me now, but you can clone reports.
Just thought I'd get a Star Wars reference in there.
Of course, yeah, definitely. So what are the benefits of Report Writer versus Dashboard? So as Sean mentioned earlier, they are very similar, but the advantages of using Report Engine is that you've got those advanced sharing options. So you can choose from your existing users who can view and edit, and dashboards are either shared with you or personal. So they're a little bit more restricted in there. Our favorite word of the day, clone. You can quickly create a new version of your report, and then, as we said, add those little tweaks and changes in, and then finally you can export to PDF. So no export options for dashboards, but you can use that export option in here, and especially with those statistic gadgets and summaries, it can look quite nice in presentations, as Lol asked for. So again, we're going to pass over to you guys for any final questions. So whilst we are wrapping that up and we're closing the session, you're thinking any of your questions, we're going to launch a quick poll for you about how we can improve our webinars here. So we will launch the poll now. Let's see if I can do one. Launch that. And if you fill that in, and also give us any of your extra questions if you have any. If not, it's because we've answered them all perfectly.
We've predicted all of your needs, and yeah, we've answered those.
Yeah. And also, shameless plug, if you do have any questions later, we are from the support team, so please do raise a ticket and we can get them.
We have a question. Another one from Lol there. I don't currently use the feedback options, but would I be able to create reports that I could share with the client?
Oh, is that if that's regarding surveys, we might struggle a little bit on the report engine because it's restricted to modules. But we could look at using Report Writer for that and the scheduling function, which I think would probably be more suitable. I think we've answered all these. Brilliant. I've got a little thumbs up there on those reactions, which I like. Perfect.
Thank you for sorting all this.
Brilliant. All right, so it doesn't look like we've got any more questions, and I think we've got our poll participation done. So once we'll do that, I will just move on now in here to our final spot. Thank you.
Oh no, it's this one.
Good old tab.
It's done it again. There we go.
There we go. We do the Brilliant. Thank you so much for taking your time to spend with us today.
We hope that you found it useful and that, yeah, we hope it was helpful.
Perfect.
Bye.